So now we've been in the house for about almost 2 years, and let me show you the front yard, how it's doing, and some of the things I'm working on this weekend. So I'm going to start down here at the end of the house, down here by the garage. I've decided to put some little knockout roses in here. My roses have been blooming really well. I put them in about 3 weeks ago, but I went ahead and trimmed off all of the dead buds. I like to deadhead these. It seems to get the bushes a little bit bigger when they're new and starting out. And so as you come around the corner here, you're going to see that I've decided that grasses work extremely well out here. We have a lot of wind. In this area, you can see we have some open space. You can see around here behind me how open this is. So we do get a lot of wind. So a lot of things can't tolerate that. But these grasses will come back every year. I planted them last year, and they are really good perennials. Most of the items that I put here in the beds that I'm going to show you, almost all of them are perennials because I don't want to have to keep replacing every year. These bushes and these little shrubs back here along the back, this is outside the garage. These little shrubs right here, these are a cousin. They're very similar to red Tip Photinias, but they're little miniatures, and they've done really well back here. I do need to replace one that we lost during the freeze this winter. Here in South Texas, we do get winters. They're not terrible, but when we do have them, they're short, and it does get into the 20s. These little Coreopsis right here, these are fantastic. Here, I'll show you the tag on this one. I'm getting ready to do some planting this weekend. These flowers will bloom all summer. They get big and they're bushy, and they will come back every year. This little grass right here, this little guy, like I said, I'll put the name for you in the description section of these plants. This little guy has done great. I planted him last year. He's already come back. This is now just the beginning of May. These started blooming in April, actually. These are great. Look at this. These blooms here are fantastic if you're trying to attract hummingbirds, and it makes its own little seeds, and I'm going to try to plant some this year. I did notice that, look at this, some of those seeds must have flown over here, and it looks like I'm growing some small ones. So we're going to put those in some pots and see how we do. Right here, this is some lilies that have just now started coming up, and as we come around the corner, you're going to see some more red tips. These just do really great here in this part of the state, and I love them. They get big and bushy. These are little plants here. These are like some little cedars and little cypress plants. These did great during the winter. They get little berries on them. Back up in there, you can see some little berries. These will get big and bushy. They do well also through the winter. And then right here, I got to do some weeding today. But this area, let me step back. This is an area that's underneath my Crape Myrtle. So first of all, this is the first Crape Myrtle I've ever planted just from scratch. Last year I planted him, I trimmed him back all the way to the nubs. You know, these little things right here, I call them, let me find a nub. See that little area right there? I call that a nub up here. And so I trimmed him completely back. He looked completely naked, and he came back like crazy. So I think it's going to be beautiful. This is a light pink one that's going to bloom. This whole area down here, this is some lantana. And I love lantana. Now Jay's allergic to it, so he can't get anywhere near it. And the dogs, this plant is not good if your dogs are going to eat it. So I have it in the front yard. And my German Shepherds don't eat plants anymore, but if they do, it makes them nauseated and they will throw up. So just beware. But I've got several more yellow lantana that I'm going to be planting here. These all came back from last year. But I'm a little impatient and I want to get a lot more. So this area right here is going to be so pretty when this is full of bright yellow flowers. Now here in the middle, this is an area that's a problem. It holds water, and so we need to work on that. I have some little grasses here that have come back from last year. We're going to see how they do. I think I might end up putting some lantana actually out here. Right here, this is a red grass. This red grass is a red fountain grass. This guy got huge last year. This is a new one. They don't do that great in the wintertime, but they do grow quickly. Now back here, this is a brand new plant. I've never had this before. Let me show you the tag. This tag right here, it says, let me get it in focus for you. It is a Hummingbird lunch is what it's called. Hummingbird's lunch is called a cigar flower. Look at those little flowers on it, okay? And so this little guy is supposed to be fantastic for your hummingbirds, and we just have hummingbirds coming out like crazy, so I got those for our little hummers. Now all along the back here and back over here, those little shrubs, those are little Yaupon. Yaupon is indigenous to this area, so we just can't kill it. And I can either make a shrub back there, or I can form really nice balls. These will make nice big shrubs. They grow slow, but you just can't kill them. Again, I've got another little a little knockout rose here, and these are red Tip Photinias that are now a year old. They're doing fantastic. All along the side here, again, this is a plant that's similar to a red Tip Photinia, and I'll put the name for you below the video. I've got some more of my favorite. Absolutely love my Lantana. This Lantana, what is so cool about it, look, it's pink. So we've got pink and yellow in here. Now, these shrubs in the back, oh my gosh, these shrubs have done fantastic. We just planted them a few months ago. They're already getting big. They're supposed to be fantastic during the winter. Also do great with drought. If there's a lot of shade, now they're going to be green. They're going to stay green all year, but we get a ton of sun out here, so they will stay bright yellow. I also have these around the pool in the back. And then another one of these little cactus type grasses, and look at these blooms. I just can't get over them. And so this window right here, that is my big walk-in pantry. And I've been wondering, why are the hummingbirds, I can always see them at my pantry. Well, now I know why. Because they're out here and they're hanging around this bush. So I think I may put another hummingbird feeder out here. I've got some little lilies that are just going to bloom all summer. I got me some purple shrubs here that are doing good. I just need to trim them up. Now this right here is a gardenia. I need to plant another one over here. But this one, oh, look at this. I wish you could smell this, because these gardenias are fantastic and they smell beautifully. I did lose one this winter that was over here, so I've got to find me another one. And as I come on around the side, let me kind of give you a view back over here of what this looks like. But I come around the side, I've got one of these little guys that I've lost. I don't think he was very good to start with. I just planted him a couple months ago, so I got to get another one. There's where I have my hummingbird feeder, and we're having great luck with our hummers already this year, even though it's just now May. And then when I come around the side, you can see I've got some more little red tips over here and some more of those little yellow shrubs. And then way over here, it's not my front yard, but I just have to brag and just say I'm so proud that we are growing an apple tree. Look at this. I have an apple. So coming from the city and being out here for 2 years, the fact that I can have an apple tree is just incredible. And this is Adele, that's her name, and we babied her like crazy over the summer because got so hot in Texas. In a few months, I'll give you another update.